Hi, welcome to YOH Crochet. My name is Anita, and Miko says hi. Mwah. Okay, anyway, my name is Anita, and thank you so much for stopping in today. And thanks for your support, and thanks for coming back time and time again. We really do appreciate you. Okay, so today I have two finished patterns, or two finished objects to show you, and both of them are from the March Spotlight Designer for Amigurumi Wars 2023. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about the patterns and show you what I have made and all that fun stuff. And are you trying to steal the show? You don't have to try very hard to steal the show. You're adorable. Do you know you're adorable? Yeah. Do you know you're cute? I love you. Okay. Apparently Miko is going to be joining me today. Okay, so first, the Spotlight Designer, first of all, is DIYFluffies. Her name is Mariska. I can't remember her last name. But her first name is Mariska. And she has a lot of her patterns in the various books. You can't see me. All you can see is Miko's head. He does this thing. It's so weird. He looks like a fish. Like he'll do it when he's yelling at me because he wants my food. He'll just do it randomly, but he's talking like normal, and then he'll just stop making noise and he'll just open and shut his mouth, and he looks like a fish. You look like a fish. Okay, are you leaving now? Okay, bye. Okay, so she has a lot of her patterns in a lot of various amigurumi books. For instance, the prehistorics, the dinosaurs, mammoths, and more prehistoric amigurumi books. That is one of them. And one of the finished objects I made does come from this book. And there is another pattern in the Unicorns and Dragons, Volume 2, which another finished object does come from this book. I did not make this pattern, but this pattern on the cover is her pattern. So, being that I selected patterns of hers from publications, I can't do a proper review of her PDF file patterns because I don't know. Like, I'm assuming these books require you to format your patterns in a very specific way so that all the patterns are kind of uniform in the layout. So I'm assuming that's probably the case. So what you purchase in her PDF files the layout might be different. There might be different things. Like last month's Spotlight Designer had extras like QR codes that took you to videos for further instructions on specific techniques. I don't know. My third pattern, I am going to actually purchase a PDF pattern so that I can see, if there's a difference in the way her patterns are written in the books versus just the single PDF files that she sells. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't purchased one, but I mean, so the pattern in the book is pretty straightforward as far as, patterns and publications like this are. So there's not really a whole lot to go over. So we'll just start with the first one. And the first one I did do is Nestor the Loch Ness Monster. There is a picture of him in the book. The pattern is rated a skill level of 1 star, so that would be the easiest pattern out of, all the patterns in this book. One of the easier patterns. I used a 4.0 hook, as I always do with my Amis, in a worsted weight yarn. This is asking you to use a size B, which a B-1, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the letters as much as I am as the numbers, but anyway, that correlates to a 2.5 millimeter hook and with sport weight yarn. I never use little yarn for my amis. So if you follow the directions or the supplies listed here, your Loch Ness Monster will turn out to be quite a bit smaller than what mine is. So it's been a couple weeks since I finished this guy. I believe the body and the tail were all worked in one piece. Yes. The head and the neck. Oh, I'll just grab mine, huh? Okay, so this is what mine looks like. I did mine like this minty green with, well, I guess he's more green. And then his spots are kind of a bluish, minty kind of type deal. And then his nostrils, which actually look more like cheeks, I should have placed them closer together, are a teal. And I used, if you saw my video for the last month's Spotlight Designer, I learned a new technique by checking out some of her patterns, and it is called the volume stitch, and I did add that to this guy for eyelids. Okay, so as I was saying, the body and tail is worked in one piece. The head and the neck is worked in one piece. This piece here, the snout, that is crocheted and then sewn on, so the neck to the body, and all the little legs are in separate pieces, as are the spikes on his head and the spots on his body, and what are supposed to be nostrils, those are all crocheted and sewed on. And we use just plain black safety eyes. I didn't use the fancy special ones on him, so I didn't have any issues. No, there were no issues. The pattern is written, it's very straightforward. It has a few pictures of various angles of your ami. I don't want to give away the pattern, but yes, there's. And then it doesn't really have any pictures as far as the process of assembly, or it just has pictures of the various angles, as I said. So like that. It does tell you which rounds you should be attaching the limbs to and those types of things. Honestly, I kind of always eyeball that. I don't always follow what they say to put the rounds on. I just kind of eyeball it, stick it where I think it looks good, and go from there. Now this guy, he is not looking straight ahead. His head is tilted a little bit, but I think it's kind of cute because when he's sideways, he's kind of looking this way a little bit. So that is my Lester the Loch Ness Monster by DIYFluffies. Does she have her actual name in here? I'm not sure. Like I said, her first name is Mariska. No, it doesn't mention her actual name. I can't remember what her last name is, but I will link all of her information in the description box below. I believe you can purchase a copy of just this pattern alone. You don't have to buy the whole book if you're interested in just this particular pattern. You can purchase that in her Etsy or Ravelry shop, I do believe. I will link that in the description box below, as well as I will link this book and where you can purchase it on Amazon. I don't remember what it goes for on Amazon right now. And again, while I am speaking of this, there is a Unicorn and Dragons Volume 3 book that you can pre-order right now, and I'm willing to bet that she probably has another pattern in that book. Okay, the second one I did is from the Dinosaurs, Mammoths, and More Prehistoric Amigurumi book, and she has, besides the pattern that I did, she has a saber-toothed tiger in here, And I have already made him. This is the reason why I bought the book. But I did not make him this month, so I'm not going to show him. The one I made this month was the Stegosaurus. I have to find out what page he's on. It took me a minute to find him because he is the very last pattern in the book. How I did not remember that, I do not know. But anyway, it is Toby the Stegosaurus. There is him in the book. In the version in the book, the way the eyelids are placed, he looks a bit angry. But that is fine. Some people prefer the angry look. So again, as I said before, it's the same as the other pattern. It's pretty straightforward. Again, she says sport weight yarn and a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook, which I did not use. I did my worsted weight with my 4.0. Yeah, no major problems with this pattern. Again, they have included pictures of this guy at various angles so you can see how it should look with everything attached. That's about all the photos there are. Yeah, there are no major issues. So I will grab the one I have. This isn't really much of a review, is it? Just pattern is written well, straightforward. I understood it fine. Like I said, I don't have the PDF files, so I'm pretty sure publications like this, they require the patterns to be written and formatted and all that stuff in a very similar way so that everything is fairly uniform. There's not all kinds of different styles of pattern writing. I don't know. I'm assuming. I might be wrong. But, so here's my Stegosaurus. I did not use the colors of the example in the book. And I didn't put the little lines for his snout on. I think it looked, I preferred it better without them. And see, the one in the book looked kind of sad, angry. Mine looks kind of sad. And I did use colored eyes. It's hard to pick up. They're orange to match his spikes. I guess it looks more like an amber than an orange, but they were supposed to be orange. So I made him with, I believe this was Red Heart in the color Flame. I don't know what this was, probably Red Heart, but I don't know what colorway because it was a scrap ball that did not have a band. The body was a mystery mill end that I had left, so I'm not sure. It feels like something comparable to Red Heart. Okay, so this guy was, it started with the head, and then we worked the body and the tail, and all that was in one piece. Then we crocheted the eyelids next. So these were two teeny tiny pieces, and they were sewn on, and the plates were all sewn on for his spikes. He has itty bitty tail spikes. Those were also sewn on, and his spots were crocheted and then sewn on. Oh, did I say his legs? His legs were as well. And when you do the legs, a lot of times, you know, you'll have an opening like that at the top of your piece that you're attaching. This did not have that. So the way it looked in the picture was the legs were sewn on, so you had that little bump on the outside, not like at the bottom of the body. So I just kind of, you ended with 6 single crochet and a magic ring at the top of the legs, and then so I just closed up that gap, plopped the legs on there, and just went in here and then into the body and back out so that they looked like they looked in the book. It didn't really go into detail on how exactly to sew them on, but that is how I did it, and I think it resembles what it looks like in the book fairly well. Yes, so that is the Stegosaurus from DIYFluffies. I think his name was Toby. Is that what I said? Yes, Toby the Stegosaurus from Mariska at DIYFluffies. And I'm going to do one more. And I'm torn between two different PDFs to purchase. I can't decide which one. Maybe I'll ask you guys your thoughts. So one was, hang on, I'm going to bring it up on my laptop. Okay, so I have it up on my laptop because I couldn't remember the names of them. So um, I will also put in a picture of the photo from her Etsy shop of each one of these patterns. So I am torn between, it is called the Little Love Devil Amigurumi, and I will put a picture here. And the other pattern I was looking at is Bobo the Panda Amigurumi, and I will put a picture here. And honestly, I'm pretty sure Bobo the Panda was probably in a Zumigurumi book. I do not know for sure. I will have to look into that. And actually, I am going to go ahead and possibly maybe do, well, no, there is a third pattern as I was looking through here that I kind of really like, and I really think it's adorable. And I know this guy is in an amigurumi book. I think it's a book with just monsters. And I know for sure he is in there because I have seen, I think maybe it might have been Sam from Memphis Makes, but I've seen somebody receive a book with, and I'm almost positive this guy was one of the patterns in the book. But the third one is crochet pattern Mr. Blue. Yes, it's Mr. Blue Amigurumi Monster, and I will go ahead and put a photo of him in here. And so maybe I'll just, because since I can't decide, maybe I'll just have all of you vote. And we'll just say whoever has the most votes when I'm ready to start my Ami, that is the pattern that I will end up doing. Yeah, like I said, it'll be whoever has the most votes by the time I am ready to start my next Ami, which should be within the next day or two. So there's no prize or anything. It's just for the fun of it, just because I can't decide which one to do. Yeah. So I think that's all I've got for you today. As I said, I will link both of these books, the prehistoric book and the Unicorns and Dragons Volume 2 book, along with the patterns that the patterns that I chose to make for this video. Oh my god, I can't talk. My words are all like, yeah. Anyway, I will link the patterns in the description box below, along with these books, and along with DIYFluffies, Ravelry, Etsy shops, and she also has a web page, and I believe she has a Facebook page. And the Facebook page was kind of cool because she talks about upcoming things that's happening, or maybe that was on Instagram. I don't remember. She's on Instagram too. And she does have a new book coming out. I think it's Amigurumi Made Easy or something like that, but people already have a copy of this book. And I was looking on the website. Someone was asking me, she's like, how do you think Sam already has a copy on this book? Go to Amazon. It was Laura. Laura was telling me, go to Amazon. What does it say? I'm like, pre-order available on May 1st. She's like, yeah, how does Sam have a copy? Like, I don't know. So I went to the website, right? And on the website, it said pre-sales for this specific book are no longer happening. Your book should have been shipped and received by yada 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 dates. So if you follow her and stuff, if she's got something coming up, like a book, she does pre-sales, so you can purchase it before it's released. So how cool is that? So yeah, for sure, check out, follow her, and do all the things. And who knows, maybe you can get an advanced copy of a book sometime. That would be fun, right? So now Sam has this book. I believe it's all of DIYFluffies patterns, because it says the book is by Mariska Von. I can't remember, but yeah, it says that she is the author. So I'm assuming all the patterns in there are her patterns. So Sam has, she has this book of all DIYFluffies patterns, and she is a spotlight designer for March. So how convenient is that for Sam? That's pretty cool. All right, so that is all I have for you today. I promise. I'm going now. I'm done babbling. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Today is Sunday. I might not get this out tonight, but hopefully for sure Monday this will be out for you. Have a wonderful week, and thanks again for spending a little bit of time with me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, don't forget to leave me a comment and tell me which amigurumi I should make next, okay? Bye.